Okay, and we're live, everybody. Been a minute since I done one of these. And I decided I was going to hit on something that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about, at least not as far as animes are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Chorus, which, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's well
Very
worth
good.
it.
It's very good.
Very good OVAs and it had what, like 6 OVAs and a film, if I remember correctly.
I haven't watched the film. I did watch. I want to say I watched the majority of the OVAs.
I've seen all of the OVAs. I actually think I have them on DVD somewhere, but it's well worth the watch. Now, a lot of things that you would see in what is it, Jujutsu Kaisen, were in Chorus. You wouldn't know that, but it would be there.
Yeah.
Yo, Dark Void. Hey, Dark Void, real quick, can you verify for me that my 3-year-old was trying to assassinate me like his name was Ezio Auditore?
Dude,
just real quick, because you were on the stream when it happened. You saw
oh my goodness, man. Seriously, dude.
Hey there, yeah. he was trying. He was trying. He was going for it. The first stream he only did it once, and he swung it. I caught it without looking, which is the thing I clipped. But then he was going for it. I was like, gosh, what are you?
My name is Ezio Auditore, and like my father before me, I am an assassin.
Playing in it. It was the relentlessness was the thing that got me. He was determined. He was like,
you was a Templar, dude. You was a Templar.
And he kept, and it was right here, constantly. And I'm just like, no, stop, just catch.
You know what that was, right?
Catching it.
He thought you were playing. He thought you were playing.
Oh, I get that. At some point, he thought I was.
Because it was his game. It was a game in his own little world, and you started playing with him.
And
so,
I was the target. I was the target.
You must like this, so let's keep doing it.
Hey, Trudell, look, another witness. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a game for Chorus, which it did have a manga too. I've never read the manga now I think about it. I've only seen the OVAs, but it's well worth the story of it is well worth looking into. If you have not seen it or read it, is definitely worth giving yourself some time. Yeah, Neff, we agree. We 100% agree with this take. Wikipedia is not trustworthy, especially when anyone can edit it at any point in time.
Very true.
Little girl, leave the light switch alone. Try and climb up and put everybody in the dark. Leave the light switch alone. But before I jump into it, because I have an idea that I think a lot of people would be interested in, but then people would be like, well, no, that's not going to work because of how much stuff is going to be in there. What have you been playing lately?
Let's see. I've been playing Tales of Kenzera Zao. I've been playing Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang 2 on Xbox. I got to stream that one. I've been playing some Tekken 8, Eddie Gordo for life, minus the Killmonger. Just take it back to Tekken 3.
Drop that head.
Just take it back to Tekken 3 minus the Killmonger. I'm glad they made that free. I'm glad they made that free because I was not trying to look like Killmonger the whole time. I wasn't trying to hear that.
Nobody wants to look like Killmonger.
Yeah, I'm like
they really think we do. We don't.
Like we really don't. We don't, bro. We really don't.
Like the only person that did want to was Jaden Smith, and that nobody agrees with his style choices.
No, and because you did this, I'm probably gonna jump back into Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah. I was thinking about it myself. I honestly was thinking about just getting some gameplay footage of him being the vicious murder machine he is.
Yeah,
but I might do that another time.
Yeah.
Well, as for me, I have played Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen because I never gotten to playing Dragon's Dogma, and I've had it sitting on my Switch for like a year without playing it. So I decided I'm diving into games in my backlog. I jumped into that, restarted Saints Row 2 because I haven't played that in years. There was a couple other things I did play, but they didn't register because I only played them just to test footage with stuff, and I did play Mega Man Maker earlier on stream, but that was mostly me trying to do level building.
Okay.
So now getting into the actual thought that I was having the idea for a Chorus game, and it didn't even hit me at first until I breezed through reading the full Jujutsu Kaisen manga.
Okay.
And I was like, did I looked at because somebody had said something to me about an anime at home, and I was like, I think my brother had brought it up to me. And I was like, damn, they were like looking at it, I was like, there is a similarity between these two. And then I started thinking, like, but then you got to think about all the things that's already out that Chorus is similar to as far as games are concerned. And the first, like, you probably already know one of the first games I look towards.
Marvel vs. Capcom 4?
No.
I had to, dude. Come on, man. You walk right into that.
Myself.
you walk right into that one. Come on, man.
Oh, man. No, I don't want to curse myself to that. No, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Astral Chain, because those for movement style, that's a little slower. But for movement style, those would be perfect for cars. Now, Stellar Blade. Once you get New Game Plus, there we go. Once you get New Game Plus for Stellar Blade, because then you get that augmentation that lets her move fast.
Yeah,
but because it's high paced. You expect to be able to have like a rapid combo system, and it all makes sense. But doing it in I know we don't need any more of these, but in an actual open world. But for each of the demons or the high ranking demons you face, since when you find them on the map, they basically take you into their own domain, which has its own separate space-time. So you have the big open world area, but then when you run into the demons, their own sections create pocket dimensions that you have to face them in.
So basically you're telling me Atlas is going to grab this.
Well, Atlas with some help from Platinum.
Yeah. I can see that. Because it reminds me of a little bit of the idea of Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah.
A little bit. And Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Mm-hmm. So that I can see that being a thing. And also probably because I gotta remember how many. Because, like I said, I've only seen the OVA. I haven't seen the movie, and I was just looking up to see like if it's available for streaming, and I don't think anybody has it. I think overseas you can see it on Netflix, but they didn't say where at overseas, and that's Cars: The Prophecy. That's the movie.
Yeah, that's because there's the prophecy and then there's the resurrection.
Yeah, so. And I have not seen that, so I'm kind of bummed because I'm like I actually want to watch it now. But
they're good. They're both. Yeah. If I remember correctly, they're both good. I just don't remember what or. You would think automatically the prophecy should be first, but
I don't know if
that doesn't necessarily make it the truth because people got weird ways of naming things.
Yeah. So I would. Yeah, and once again, if you don't know the characters, if you got Tatsunoko versus Capcom,
Tatsunoko versus Capcom gives you a small taste of what he really is.
A small taste. But I dig the character just because of Tatsunoko versus Capcom actually introduced me to some characters that I did not know about at first, but then once I started playing, started looking into them, and then for some reason Cartoon Network just started showing Karis and a couple of other ones. Not Karis, but Casher and Sins. And they played the other one from because they didn't, but they didn't play Battle of the Planets, which I found odd.
Probably couldn't really fit that one in.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Have they had their anniversary thing yet? Because Battle of the Planets should have had an anniversary by now, I would think.
I probably, but I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, because I actually like those too. But yeah, if you don't know who that is, that's a good place to start if you have that. If you still have that game, I know if you don't have it, it's a lot of money to to buy that now. It is not cheap, but yeah, that's one of those situations where a game introduced me to a lot of things that I did not know, and then I went on a deep dive afterwards, which helped me out in the long run. But Cars is that dude.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'll put this out there for several of the Marvel heads that might run across this. Think of Cars as an anime version of Iron Fist, but they don't have the catch of having to share a power pool if there's more than one of them.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah,
because the prophecy starts off with one of the older ones killing one of the newer ones, and then the other one pops in, the doctor dude that takes over the role.
Yeah.
So, and they are both spiritual and technologically created beings. So they are not fully spirit or fully technology. They're a blend of both.
Which is actually very interesting, actually.
That's something that doesn't really get done a whole lot, which is weird. Like a techno ghost story.
Yeah, which you think they would, but I'm guessing they had any reasons for doing that.
They got reasons for avoiding it, but techno demons just sounds fun. Well, girl, stop trying to block me out. No, you're not messing with the keyboard. You can sit with me. You don't get to touch the equipment. Yeah, you can have your cup. There you go. Try over here, play producer and stuff, messing with my stuff. And Trinell, similar, because I wouldn't consider Bayonetta or Devil May Cry beat 'em ups, but hack and slash. Close enough concept. Not exactly the same, but it ain't exactly different either.
That would be interesting for an open world beat 'em up, though. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, I kind of when I was doing one of those random talks, I kind of talked about something like that, and I still got to do like a full scale video for that. But
I mean, Final Fight, if Capcom ever decides that they actually have something that they can go at Streets of Rage with.
I mean, they attempted that though with Final Fight Streetwise, and they did not execute that well.
Yeah, but they decided to put them in Street Fighter 6, which is just hurts my feelings.
They said we're gonna give you half of it.
Half of it.
We're gonna halfway do it. But having it be like that, and I was thinking about that, it was like, how much fun would it be to run through like a city called I don't remember if the city is Tokyo or Neo Tokyo or something like that in Cars. But being able to run through a large city where you get to hack and slash different demons, and then you come across the big bads, and they basically absorb you into their own little world.
That would actually be a lot of fun, depending on how the setup is.
Yeah, because I would imagine they could do something like the portal switching that was done in Bayonetta 2 for entering into the domains. That way you could redo the boss fights multiple times and up your ranking whenever. And potentially when you're doing, there was a part I left out because I meant to include it. And this is for those who've played Shinobi or Nightshade on PS2 that had the Tate system involved. And basically it just meant that when you defeated an enemy, they froze in place until you finished a certain string. So with Cars, what I was thinking is that they could have something very similar to that, like have a Tate system. It wouldn't be called that, obviously, but just certain spots on like the open world map, or maybe like clusters of enemies move around, and as you run into them, as you complete the clusters, you power up your attacks and weapons before you face one of the boss demons. So
Okay.
like the higher your rank is going into facing a boss demon, the stronger you are. And the worse your rank is, the weaker you are.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
You are not letting me have my arms.
So, but how are we going about doing? Are we doing skill trees? How are we doing this?
Yeah, it would basically have like a skill tree, a basic level system to have like skill trees, or if not doing that, the skill tree could be done by unlocking moves through repetition of using moves. Like if you repeatedly use one particular combo, you unlock other ones.
As long as it's not like the daggone skill trees in Ultimate Marvel Alliance 3, but no.
No.
You need a damn degree in physics to understand that damn hex system. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
No, I'm thinking closer to God of War if
Okay.
we're talking about how the skill tree works.
Yeah, it just needs something simple. I hate complicated skill trees because you don't make yourself look good when they do that. I hate when they do that.
The closest to complicated I would say is Ninja Gaiden 3.
Oh, that ain't bad.
That's the most complicated I would want it, but I'm thinking far more simplistic, like God of War.
Yeah, that ain't bad because, like, yeah, well, you know, that one, and it was another one that I can't stand. That's like ridiculous. But yeah, yeah, that could work. That could actually work.
So you choose your whole difficulty when facing the boss. Then I can already see 0% runs for this game already. What was going there? Yeah, I'm just going to run right to the boss. We gonna fight.
Oh, I remember dumbasses doing that for Breath of the Wild, and it did not turn out well for him either.
That was the first thing I thought of is Breath of the Wild movie. Just run right to Calamity Game.
They got stomped out.
I'm jumping off this pillar and I'm going right after him. Yeah, but having basically how I want the Tate system to work is because I'm using that name because of what it was in Shinobi.
Mm-hmm.
But because you do the consecutive kills, and once you clear out a group, you get more whatever the experience is to throw into your skills. Okay. So like the better you perform, the more you can boost your skills, as well as you being more powerful when you take on bosses.
Well, that sounds doable, at least because you're giving people an incentive to get better.
Yeah, that would definitely create the need for replay runs.
Yeah.
And I would not make this game somebody's probably going to think little of this, but I would not make this game any more than 10, maybe 15 hours long for a single playthrough.
It don't need to be no longer than that.
20 if you're trying to 100% it. No more than that. It's not one of those experiences that has to be long and drawn out. You want it to be a get in, get out type of thing because everything's got to be fast paced.
Let me think, because Bayonetta 2 was like 16 hours. Yeah, you don't need nothing. Look, we got to get out of this mind frame that everything got to be 100+ hours. We got to get out of that mind frame for real. Like, hell, there's a lot of RPGs that need to go back to 40 to 80.
Yeah, even give me a 20-hour RPG. Just give me something short and sweet that gives you the info and to the point.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah.
And Trinell, yes, you fight a cluster, and the grading system would be very similar to Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. But in this instance, think more like Devil May Cry 1, where you could repeatedly go to an area and the clusters would come back. But because it's open world, you don't want to kill them all and then they don't reappear. So they'll come back once you're done with them. That was from the Twitter, people trying to prove their points with Wiki. Wikipedia is good for some things, but you never use it as the sole source of what you're trying to do. You always look for other stuff,
which too many people try to do for some reason.
But I was thinking that would be pretty cool. Like you got one, you have freedom of movement, and the city is sort of like with freedom of movement, you could basically move through that city like you'd be like Spider-Man. Then you could have combo system. The combo system be very similar to Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. Then you have a ranking system that again matches from those, but your skill tree is like God of War. Then you also have pocket dimensions that you fight bosses in, which a lot of games do that. This all sounds like it could work very well with the right hands on it.
Okay, so what about the customary fighting game that would have to be based off of this by aiding?
No. Just say no. No.
You know I had to bring that up. You know I had to bring that up.
We're just gonna veto that because we don't need to reskin a fighting game 50 times. We're good. We're good.
You sure you don't?
I'm very
money. Money.
It's only money for the first few attempts. After that, everybody get bored.
Pretty much. Well, they don't seem to get bored with Last of Us. But
I'm bored with The Last of Us, and I ain't even played it.
But that's neither here nor there.
Trinell, yeah, Chrono Trigger can be 20 to 30 hours.
Yeah,
but if you do a 100% run or you 100%ing it, I think is about 50.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you have to go back and get.
Yeah, that's if you're trying to do a full complete run. Now, if you want to get all the endings, you are definitely putting some time into that game, but that's if you want to get all the endings. I was good with the one ending I got. I don't need to go back and get 8 or 9 different endings for that game. I'm good on that one. But that would
call yourself a gamer.
That would also be something that would be good to think about, having the ending to the game be based upon what your overall ranking is at the end of it.
That's interesting because that's a different viewpoint. Instead of on purpose trying to get the horrible ending to get all of them, it depends on how good you play and how much stuff you unlock. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking about as much as people hated this game after Angry Video Game Nerd made a video about it, even though it wasn't considered a bad game back then. But Castlevania 2, how the quicker you got through the game, the better your ending was. Just not make it based on time, but make it based upon skill. Like, so if you do horrible at the end of the game, basically your version of Karis dies and they have to find a new one. But if you do well, he lives on to fight another day, and maybe you see get to see some of his life besides what he does as Karis.
Okay. Would you have anybody else from the Tatsunoko people show up?
As far as that, I don't think anybody. As far as like in game lore, I don't think anybody ever actually crosses over with him.
I don't think they do, but you can like. But you can Easter egg it, can't you?
Yeah, if I was going to say, but if I was going to do Easter eggs, then I would definitely do Cash Earn, because Cash Earn would fit similarly in, or the G-Men characters, because they all kind of operate similarly. The only thing is that Karis seems to only really operate at night, which I didn't even think about that. That would be an interesting way to divide gameplay. Having day and night sections. Daytime, you're like the human form of Karis, investigating the city and getting information. And then during night, you're actually in the Karis form, taking on demons and fighting. Because that's what they did in the show. Like, the investigators try to get all that information, and then at nighttime, when all the incidents were going down, that's when Karis would show up.
Yeah, that is right.
So that could actually be another way to expand gameplay dynamics, and it might actually make it a little bit longer. But I don't think it would add too much to the length of the game.
Because you can actually, because that way you can do the little adventure stuff and add probably a little wrinkle here and there, twist for gameplay.
Yep. Trinell, yeah, you're right. Tekka Man Blade posters all over the place, like advertising it like it's a movie.
That would be cool.
Stealing from Mega Man Legends, like there was advertising Mega Man X like it was a movie series in the comic book. I was like, y'all wrong. No, we want that.
Was the cigarette lighter? Have him just sitting over in the corner, chilling.
And actually, Tekka Man, the character for the Blade, for Tekka Man Blade, actually wouldn't be a bad Easter egg character to throw in there too. Like maybe have you find all the posters to unlock them.
Yeah,
actually, cool. that would be how you unlock other characters, finding all of their posters. So everybody would have posters. You'd have Cash Earn have a series of posters. Have Tekka Man Blade have a series of posters.
Yeah.
And it's got to be Blade because I'm not using old school Tekka Man because he was just thick and muscly.
Yeah, Tekka Man Blade. Tekka Man Blade is just, and plus he's like a better character. Honestly,
he is a character. But OG Tekka Man was just thick and muscular, walking around slamming and punching everybody.
He was the original Sagata Senshiro.
He was out there just manhandling and crushing stuff. I'm like, yeah, I ain't. Plus, Tekka Man technically deals with very similar, not necessarily demons, but people that kind of portray demons. So it works. It works. That would fit very well.
Actually, yeah, it would. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah.
Let's just doing Chorus opens up the realm of people jumping into other Tatsunoko franchises and them potentially doing more games. Like Tatsunoko as a company could have had a bunch of amazing games if somebody only took the time to try to get the licenses to do them.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things, and plus, like, there was a lot of licensing issues overall with a lot of this stuff. That's why, like, half the stuff, I was surprised Tatsunoko vs. Capcom even worked, because even when they did that back in 2009, 2010, they were, because that's why you didn't get a lot of animes for them, because all of the licenses from all this stuff, because that was stuff from the 60s and 70s.
A lot of it, yeah.
A lot of it. Like Battle of Planets or Gotcha Man, that was 72. That was 72. But I think the anime proper was 78 to 80. And then,
yeah, that sounds about right.
I think the first thing for it was 72 though. That was the first thing.
Yeah, because they had the original the black and white one,
mm-hmm.
the black and white anime, and then like 7 or 8 years later they got the fully colored one, but those were following the Tatsunoko manga that they had out during the time period.
And then the original Casher, which isn't Sins, it's
but that one's Kashan.
Kashan, yeah.
We treat him prim and proper, Kashan.
Basically, yeah. So yeah, and then that goofy one they had with the evil lady with the 2 henchmen that looked stupid as I don't know what, like dudes was.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, but that was funny. But the thing was, like, that's what I'm saying. I never understood how they got all that stuff, because even back then, like, that stuff was hard because Tatsunoko didn't have all of it. Honestly, the company didn't.
I think honestly is that they allowed if memory serves me right, is that they allowed the artists to keep rights to all their stuff.
Okay.
So
that would make sense.
Like that would create issue as to finding out who has all the licenses. But honestly, I think the majority of them would be okay with doing having games done for this stuff, especially if they got a hand in it.
Dude, they let Casher Sins come out.
Yeah, and that was an amazing amazing anime. I wish it did a little bit more, but it was an amazing anime.
Because that was 2000.
I want to say that was 2009.
Yeah, because it was right when the game. Yeah, because right when the game came out, like because Adult Swim had it for the longest.
Yeah, it was. So, yeah, I think it was right. It was right after. I think it was right after the arcade originally dropped it.
Yeah,
like
when the arcade came out. The arcade came out like 6 months before the game did.
Yeah, the arcade cabinet came out, and then Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ultimate All Stars came out on the Wii after that. So yeah. And the anime was around the same time. I think the anime either launched right before the game or right after, but it coincided with
it coincided. But because it was that one, and that's when we got That's when we got the Catcher OV, the Cars OVAs came over because Adult Swim had them for the midnight run.
Yeah,
that's how I saw two or three of them. That's how I saw them.
Yeah, because that was when they first started testing out doing 3D and anime, and they did really good with it. Unlike a lot of stuff that followed them. Yep, you're right. It was 2008. J2.
Thank you, J2. Yeah, yeah. We was in the ballpark.
We was near it.
Yeah, we was in the ballpark. Because the only reason why I remember that because I remember going to GameStop and people was asking me like, "Why are you picking up Tatsunoko versus Capcom? This isn't." I'm like, "Bro, I know a few of these characters, so this would be fun."
Look fun.
And so, but of course, back then, that's why people stopped going to GameStop. But yeah, and right around that time was when those animes started coming. And I started looking into it. I'm like, oh, like I wonder how they did this if they got licensing issues because licensing was a big problem back then. So
it definitely was. I mean, now it's probably a little bit easier to find the people.
Yeah, because everybody can put stuff digitally. People don't understand how it's hard to find stuff when everything's still on paper.
Yeah. I'm trying to think though. So now I'm trying to remember is 8-man Tatsunoko.
I cannot tell you.
I don't think it is. Now I'm sitting here. It's like, who does 8-man fall under?
Well, I don't think so.
Nah, it doesn't. So close.
Who got it?
8-man is a whole different company. God damn
okay.
It would have been nice if it was, because I'd be like, yeah, we throw some 8-man stuff in there. He deal with all that goofy, weird stuff too. Especially when 8-man After came out, but that's let me not get into that because that's a whole separate beast.
That it is.
But I think with all the stuff that I'm just talking about, like throwing in those cameos, having the game it would definitely have to be a custom engine for a lot of this to be structured, or maybe base it off of Havoc, like Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Just revamp the whole thing, because I think the physics for Havoc would be good for this type of game, but you would definitely need something to be fast paced in order to really work with this. So they definitely have to put some edge to it.
Yeah.
Hey, Night Wolf, what's up? Just talking about a game for Karis, which would be fun.
Yeah, I just thought of who could probably do it and do it well, because they won't give us Ninja Gaiden 4. Team Ninja.
Actually, yeah, they could. I mean, look, Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, look, like y'all ain't done Ninja Gaiden 4, and the last couple Dead or Alive, y'all lost your mind on that damn DLC. So
yeah, they definitely have.
Like, y'all lost your mind on that. I'm like, bro, $92
more than the game.
Man, you know, lost still okay. Hey, look, Casimir don't look that good. But yeah, Team Ninja.
Yeah, I think they would do a pretty good job on it.
Yeah, because that's right up their alley. I mean, they probably need to chill out with how long it take to beat certain stuff, but yeah.
I mean, they love gore and everything too, and Karis is full of that.
Yeah.
It is full of gore, so I mean that would.
It is not for the kiddies. It's not for the childrens of the world.
Not for the childrens, not at all. Yeah. None of it.
None of it.
And if anybody let their kids play it, that's your fault.
Yeah,
that is wholeheartedly your fault.
Yeah, I ain't finna even bro. You ain't look. No, just no.
don't let your children touch it.
Because one, they're gonna have nightmares, and then you got to stay up with them all night. So don't even do it.
You don't want your kids thinking your toaster gonna eat their fingers.
Yeah,
just don't.
Basically,
you gonna think their toaster's gonna eat their fingers, and the TV gonna suck their soul out their face.
Yeah. Or IGN might review Luminous Ocean again, so you don't want that to
happen. There's too much rain in this city. It's too much water.
How you gonna get mad about a game talking about a game that has water in it when the game literally has ocean in the title.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I
What?
know. Yeah, J2, that is
No.
funny. That Team Ninja is making everything but Ninja
But
Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden, yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
they just doing everything.
Oh, y'all want another Dead or Alive street volleyball? No, we want Ninja
No.
Gaiden. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 4 it is.
But this time we're going to do the male edition.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's yeah. I wonder why Team Ninja doing that because you can't. Well,
they not being allowed to is my guess. They are not being allowed to.
Probably.
They getting told, "Nah, we need y'all to do this, and this, and we need you to make exorbitant amounts of DLC and charge people like
more
crazy."
than the game.
Well, god dang, man, it's just skins
that you used to unlock.
It's a couple new people and a bunch of skins.
Yeah, because it ain't that many new characters. I'm like, bro, what? So yeah.
But that would be. What do you want? You keep climbing up and then climbing down.
She's working on her climbing skills.
But I am not. I am not a rock ball. That's not my purpose in life.
Apparently, you are now.
I think it's just that the toy that she was playing with is dead, so she's like, man, I'm gonna come over here and mess with you now.
Like somebody's gonna entertain me, and you're.
I had a thought and it just went. Because
I was thinking about it.
I was just sitting here like thinking about how. Now, part of me is wondering how people would react this way. Nobody knows what's Chorus. Nobody knows what Chorus is, and they got the gall to charge $70 for this.
Well, that's another thing too, because I was just looking a little while ago. I'm like, where is this? Because it should be streaming somewhere. It's not streaming anywhere.
Nah, I don't think anybody's obtained the rights to do it. I know Funimation had it for a little bit.
Yeah, but that was like years ago.
Yeah, but they don't have it now. You might find it on some of the bootleg places.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because Department of Homeland Security ain't found it yet. So, but yeah, that's all I was looking for because I'm like, this would be a good time to find it. I mean, you know what, Trinell? I do need to look on YouTube.
Trinell out here doing the work for everybody.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about YouTube that I found a couple weeks ago. YouTube actually has legit movies on there.
Yeah.
For free. So, because I found the great 80s classic American Ninja. That movie is so damn horrible, but it's awesome. So
it's horrible, but awesome and funny.
Yeah, and 2, both of them, 1 and 2 was on there. I'm like, 2's just bad, but 1 is horrible and awesome. So it's one of those situations where let me see, because if they have the straight up, not the somebody done did this off their TV, but the actual one. I mean,
I think it is the actual thing though. It's probably more likely because again, I know I have it on DVD. I just haven't gone through my DVDs to find it, but I know I have it.
Yeah, and if you want to get the DVD, it's $79. I ain't paying that much. I ain't paying that much for no regular DVD. I ain't doing that.
Not anymore.
Not no more. No. Nope. So, yeah, I'll spend some time looking for it because if it's the actual legit version, I hope it is. Because that's the only thing I hate about YouTube. They don't have they need to have a category with legit versions of movies, and call it legit.
Eventually, they'll do it. They'll eventually get around to it.
Yeah, have a whole category for it because just showing it randomly in your feed is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
when it's free.
You were really trying to just disrupt my whole train of thought, huh?
Pretty much.
There you are. You're on the screen. Okay? You're on the screen. Now, can you leave my keyboard and stuff alone?
That would be a no.
Look, I need my hands. Which way are you trying to go? Now you trying to go? Okay, there you go. You good now? You did what you wanted to do?
For 3 minutes.
Okay, we good. Thank you. God, I'm sitting here like, cause we said platinum,
Yeah,
said Team Ninja.
Yeah, I would say Monolith Soft, but that's I don't. Nah,
I would say Monolith for helping develop the world.
I need Monolith Soft to be working on the further adventures of me getting pissed off at Klaus. So,
I mean, they can still do that. We don't need the whole team, just a couple people.
Yeah,
just a couple people to help build the world that we would be traversing.
Let's see. So, Platinum Team Ninja. Who else?
Nah, other ones out there that do these games that are pretty decent. I would say Sony Santa Monica, but I don't trust them no more.
Nah, you can't really trust them.
I don't trust them no more.
Mm-mm.
Capcom could. I mean, they did do.
I don't trust Capcom. I just don't.
I mean, but they did recently do Devil May Cry 5, and that wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible. It just looked horrible.
Well, we don't let them do the graphics.
No, hell no. or the artwork,
the art style,
or the art style at all.
Just have them work on the wireframe and all that stuff.
Yeah, because Lord,
that is true that they made them look so horrific.
I'm like, I don't know what they were trying to go for, but don't ever do that again.
Like, no, that don't work, man.
Yeah, so
they could do the wireframe work and all the rigging for the models and stuff, and work on the game physics.
Well, because if worst comes to worst, you could always let Omega Force make a Warriors game.
I mean, that could be a separate thing. That could be a whole separate thing. Actually, just have a whole Warriors game just for Tatsunoko characters in general.
That would be funny though, because you can actually have fun with that. You can actually, because of course you can't take it serious.
No,
so
you couldn't.
Yeah, so you could have a whole bunch of fun with that.
But yeah, that. Now my thing is, you couldn't let Platinum and Capcom be in the same room.
Oh no! Together. Oh no! Because that is not gonna go well.
Actually, Grasshopper wouldn't do a bad job with this either.
Nah, but I would need some Suda 5-1 greatness in it though.
That's why I said it.
I would need some Suda 5-1 greatness.
Because I'm just thinking about how Killer Is Dead is. This is right up his alley.
No more heroes.
And there is that redhead dude with the guns.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but he was a demon too, so I can see him doing it.
Yeah. Trinell, Sakurai would do a good job, but
you may put Sakurai on this, then we gonna have too much stuff to say.
Yeah, he has way too, because he'll do a deep dive into Tatsunoko.
He will do a deep dive into each of the character posters, and each one of those posters is going to come with a blurb that's like 3 to 4 paragraphs long, giving you information on the specific episode or manga that particular poster comes from.
The page, the page number.
Then he gonna have Karas have like 50 different swords, and each one of them gonna have like 2 to 3 paragraphs of writing on the purposes of the sword and how to use it. I was like, this man gonna give you a whole dissertation,
and it'll be done within 2 years.
He give you a whole dissertation on how metal for swords are folded and crafted in that game. I'm like, as much as I would like Sakurai to do it, because he got a funny bone too, but the Sakurai is so big of a nerd at the point it's like,
you're like, dude,
can I stop reading?
Like, bro, I love your stuff, but bro, you killing me right now, dude.
Hey, J2 is correct on that. The RE engine could be adapted to a lot of different not fighting styles, art styles. Yeah. But Capcom seems to not want to do that. For some reason, they want to make everything look like it's been stomped into the mud and burnt with cigarettes. So I have no idea why.
You can at least say it's unique.
Uniquely gross looking.
Yep,
That's
it's
how it is.
unique though. Nobody else doing that.
No, I mean everybody else. There's others that are attempting to do that, but they're failing, thankfully.
Horribly.
Oh man, but yeah, Grasshopper doing. Actually, I think I actually prefer Grasshopper to do it.
The only reason I would say Grasshopper just because they'll have they can put the time into it because they wouldn't have like 50 other projects to do. The problem with like Platinum and Capcom is you have to divide up
tons
teams.
of other projects.
Yeah, and Grasshopper they don't have as much as the other people have.
But have Grasshopper do it. But since Kamiya is now a solo agent, have him join with them to do this.
Yeah.
Then you got all the components you need to make this game be the way it needs to be.
Yeah.
And everything.
I do like Kamiya. I know people have their own personal feelings about Kamiya, but he's a damn good game developer.
Well, you can't be mad at him for doing what he said he would do.
Yeah.
When people came to him and said stuff that didn't make any sense, he did exactly what he said he would do. Mm-hmm. He blocked them or he ridiculed them. There was no in between.
And then it got to the point where people wanted him to do it anyway. I'm like, y'all weird.
Because it was funny. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't crossing that boundary because I wasn't getting blocked to not be able to see it. Yeah. But I was watching.
I'm like, man, it is not. I'm like, bro, y'all weird because they like, come block me next. Like, what is wrong with y'all, man?
And he would quote tweet them blocked.
Yeah.
So having him do that, like having them work together on that, you get your fast-paced combat, you got your skill trees, you got your hidden content, unlockable characters. Mm-hmm. Wide open world, and actually, this would probably be cathartic for him since Scalebound got kind of crushed. And Scalebound was supposed to be a large open world game with a similar play style.
Yeah, the only difference was it's supposed to be a single player, and for some reason, Microsoft just had to have multiplayer in it. I don't understand that
because everybody was doing multiplayer at the time, so that's what they pushed for, and it got the project screwed. But hey, it happens. Live and learn.
That's true. That is true.
But I was just thinking, like some of the combat ideas that they had for Scalebound could be translated to this. So, like, again, all that stuff would line up pretty well. It would look good, and I would hope that they would go for like a cell shaded Okami-esque look.
That would be the best way to present it.
Since that's kind of how the OVAs looked anyway.
Yeah, and plus that'd be the best way to do it. Yeah, honestly. Like trying to make that super realistic ain't gonna work.
It doesn't work, especially for cars. That would look ugly as hell.
Yeah,
the way they look when they're transformed, that would not work.
No,
it just and it's not like you got to make it be Resident Evil because it's not Resident Evil. So
yeah,
I could see that working real well. I think that they could do that. Probably be a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
if people could get out the head of one or two people specifically working on it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, that would probably be the best way to do that.
Yeah. And this is one of the few times, again, I'm saying do open world, but there's reason for it to be open world. And honestly, with the pocket dimensions for the bosses, it really isn't completely open world. It's just like there's a base layer to do a bunch of stuff. Like the majority of what your situation is basically going to be is investigating as a human and then taking down demons in a transformed state. And you're basically doing those on two opposite sides of the daytime, the day spectrum.
Yeah. And the day stuff, you can do the side quest or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. like or get information for side quests or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that could work itself out. I'm trying to. Is there anything else that could be added though?
Probably, but you probably have to go story wise.
Yeah, that would be the thing. And story wise, I really wouldn't want to do much because Cars is so wide open. They could do any type of story they want,
and it can get confusing real quick for people.
Yeah, it could,
especially people over here in the West. Because if you watch those OVAs and you don't understand them, I can't help you because that's how confusing they are.
Here's Trinell asking the tough questions. Will there be side quests? Well, we basically said yes. And on that note, will there be super bosses in this game? Basically, yes. That's why you could repeatedly go back to a boss and take them on.
Only if Monolith Soft is doing it, because I ain't doing no super boss that's done by people that you can't beat the balls for. But Monolith Soft always makes it a way that you can actually beat them if you learn your play styles or whatever.
And there are large scale monsters and demons in Karis's lore, so you already have them.
Yeah,
you already have kaiju-esque beings in Cars, so it works itself out. It's just that there has to be somebody who has the time to create it.
Yeah,
but all of the components are there.
Because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, could Retro do it?
Retro Probably. Could do it. If anything, if I would do Retro to do anything with it, I would have them take the other dude that was in Prophecy and do a game based on him because of him using the guns.
Yeah,
because I haven't really seen Retro do a whole lot of close quarters stuff.
No, they had
not that they can't. It's just not we haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know what to expect out of it.
And God knows we don't know what game they've been working on outside of Metroid Prime 4. Remember, it was a whole other game they were working on too. So
yeah, and that game could come out and it might be the answer to everything, but we just don't know yet.
Yeah,
but I'd be cool with that. I mean, I wouldn't even object to them just working on that particular character. Like just bring him in to do that character and how he plays within that world. That could also work. So it didn't. This sounded like a super team of developers to come together and make this.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, my little demons! Hold on.
Oh boy. Well, that would be interesting to see how that would go. Yeah, Retro would be a good pick. Team Ninja probably my favorite pick. Capcom, I have trust issues when it comes to Capcom. Platinum, y'all know how much I love Platinum. That's like my favorite, especially for action games. That's my favorite studio. There ain't too many other people though, because I would not trust. I wouldn't trust any Western company to do this. Nah, I would probably only trust like Japanese companies. In all honesty, and like Andre said, Suda 5 wanted Grasshopper just because I know they'll be able to handle crazy stuff and make it fun. I mean, see No More Heroes, essentially. So, yeah, that's a lot of. I did not expect it to go like that. So, things that make you go, But I will say, in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, I always use cards with Ken, the Eagle. So I never really used him with old boy from Onimusha 4. I never liked that dude. I kind of wish they would have used the guy from Demon Siege, Takashiro, instead of dang, what's that boy's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about, the blonde Soki. Yeah, Soki. I did not like Soki. Then again, I didn't like Dawn of Dreams anyway. I thought that game after Demon Siege, I still think Onimusha 3 Demon Siege is the best game in the series. And why has there not been a remaster of that? HD remaster of that? I don't need a full-on remake. I just need a remaster. Like, we got the first game, but we didn't get 2 or 3. I hate when they do that too. Do y'all like that when they only do like the first game, but don't do the second and the third one, especially if it's a trilogy? Because I'm like, well, if you do one, can you plan on doing the other 2? Because, well, Onimusha 2 wasn't all that good, but 3 was. Then again, I did only buy Devil May Cry 3. Now that I think about it, Devil May Cry 3 was the only one I bought when they did that re-release. Oh, you back?
Had to defuse a child bomb there.
Yes, Trinell, exactly like Metroid Prime Remaster. I want all 3 of them because Corruption is my favorite one. So usually the third one is my favorite one. Like Demon Siege from Onimusha 3 is my favorite one. Corruption is my favorite one for Metroid Prime. So I hate when they do that. They only do the first game and don't do the rest. Don't put my emotions.
Hey, at least they ain't like doing what Activision did with Modern Warfare. They released the game and then re-released the DLC separately too.
That was messed up. That was so messed up. Oh, I laughed. I thought it was funny, but that was messed up.
Oh man, I remember making that exhibit meme about it. That was beyond comprehension. But I can't think of anything other than story to talk about, and I don't want to dive into story because diving into story would take like 40 minutes, and obviously I have little demon people to look after that are trying to take over the planet, so probably just gonna have to go ahead and wrap up.
Gotcha.
Because like I think we got the basis of everything that will make it good, and there's no point diving in the story on this because, like I said, Chorus is just too wide open.
Yeah,
it can be done with it.
Yeah, no, and if you don't already know, it's hard to explain.
It takes a lot to explain it, but if somebody's for somebody who might like Jujutsu Kaisen, if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, like read the manga or you've watched that anime, watch Chorus. And you'll see the similarities between the two, but Chorus is probably far more advanced as far as how things work. Well, I mean, Trinell, if we're talking about having it be like a Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, yes, there would be a parry system. Because it would kind of be required. Especially if you're going to have it be fast-paced and moving around where you bouncing all through a city and wrecking and tearing stuff up. Yeah, it's going to be required. You can't have somebody not have a dodge or parry system for this, because then you'd have people being ticked off because they would be getting hammered into the dirt every 5 seconds.
Yes, they would. Oh no, they wouldn't. They just claim it's Souls-like.
No,
they just claim it's Souls-like.
I deny this.
This is a very Souls-like game. This is the best game of the generation.
Just because something is difficult does not make it Souls-like. They gotta stop doing that. They really gotta stop.
They really do need to stop doing that.
But yeah, I think that'll definitely be it. Anything to pimp out?
No, just Winging the Podcast Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Chat will be open.
Yeah, it definitely. I know I'm going to be there. And just check the stuff that I already posted this week. Some of the shorts and stuff that have appeared on my channel. That Saints Row 1, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That one is for some reason drawing a lot of attention from people. The one where the main character talks about hepatitis in the elevator because it was so unexpected.
Yeah, it pretty much came out of nowhere.
My little murder frog is going.
Okay.
There's that, and also vote for us in the BIPOC Streamer Awards for the Chatterbox category for Winging the Podcast. Opens up May 6th, I believe.
Yeah, May 6th, that'd be Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Sorry for all the screaming for everybody who's wearing headphones at the end of this, because child decided she was mad. Can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
But y'all have a good evening, folks. Hope you all enjoyed. And I may have another one of these in 2 weeks if I can think of a subject I want to work on.
All right.
But y'all can also throw me some suggestions. So, peace out, everybody.
Peace.